Previously on the ISAF World Match Racing Tour.
We lose, but we stay focused for the next tape, and it's the Portugal. We analyze the good and the bad points.
Yeah, we're ripped. We're ruined. It's such a terrible feeling to be in a position where you could have gone through, and you probably should have. We were sailing really well, but we're still making a lot of mistakes, and at this level, you can't afford to make a mistake.
Well, I think we put a certain amount of pressure on ourselves to perform, but you know, unfortunately, this morning we just didn't have that bit of something that you need to beat somebody who's sailing quite as well as Bjorn was. So all credit to him.
We lost by 3-2 with Bjorn, but he's been sailing a great week. Overall, I have a good feeling because we have been sailing well in Germany, here, France as well. So it's all good.
Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah, it feels like we have earned this final spot and the win.
Welcome to the Portimão Portugal Match Cup, where the tour moves from tidal flats and light winds in Korea to strong sea breezes and hidden currents in the Algarve. The Portimão Portugal Match Cup is the fourth stage of the ISAF World Match Racing Tour. The 12 teams will be sailing Swedish Match 40s as they compete for the €50,000 prize purse. Match racing gives sailors a chance to race one-on-one and engage in a more aggressive and tactical form of sailing.
Match racing is the most gladiatorial sailing discipline. It pits two boats against each other on a very short racecourse. The two teams battle for advantage during a 4-minute period before the start gun, then sail upwind to the top mark where they hoist spinnakers. Turning back downwind onto the run to the leeward mark, the spinnakers must be dropped for the second lap. The races usually last 2 or sometimes 3 laps, and the action is umpired on the water using a system of flags. Each boat is assigned a colour, either blue or yellow, and the sailors raise a red and yellow flag to protest if they think their opponent has broken a rule. The umpires announce their decision, raising the appropriate blue or yellow flag to signify the boat that has offended. If a red flag is raised as well, it means the infringement is more severe, and the penalty, turning the boat through 3/4 of a circle, must be taken immediately. Otherwise, the penalty can be taken any time before the finish. The first to cross the finish line is the winner.
Tour card holders are invited to each regatta to compete not only for the event title, but to accrue tour points that will count towards a final score that could win them the world title. After 3 events and ahead of the Portimão Portugal Match Cup, the tour standings looked like this. Here are the tour card holders racing in Portugal to rack up their tour points. Johnny Berntsen and the Berntsen Sailing Team. Berntsen has entered the year as a new tour card holder, but he's had a tough start to his Major League campaign. Ian Williams with Team GAC Pindar. Williams is keen to add a 3rd world title to his name. He's had a rocky opening to the season, but a 3rd in Korea has set him on the right track. Mathieu with the French Match Racing Team. The nearly man of the tour, Richard can win events, but can he go all the way? Jesper Radic and Adrian Liam partners. Radic was the youngest ever tour champion in 2003, and now he's gunning for title number 2. Torvar Mirsky and the Wave Muscat. Mirsky came 2nd here last year, and with 2 podium finishes in the last 2 years, the time for potential is over. Damien Iehl and the French Match Racing Team. Iehl had a great start to the season with a win at Match Race France and needs to keep up at the top end of that leaderboard. Peter Gilmour with Yanmar Racing. Gilmour is the reigning champion at this event, but can he defend his title? Francesco Bruni and Bruni Racing. Bruni is in good form at this stage with the 1st and 2nd place behind him, but he'll need to keep consistent. As the face of the team, the skippers are often in the limelight during racing. But each crew member has their own vital role to play in the team, both on and off the water. Jesper Radic entered the Tour this year with a new crew, and with 2 events behind them, they're starting to find their feet.
So we are Adrian Lee and Partners Racing Team, and on my left we got Rasmus Kustner from Denmark, tactician, mainsail trimmer. Out here on the other stone is Nick Blackman, bowman. Got Christian Scherer sitting behind me here doing trimming, and then behind me here we got Dave Sweet, who's doing a lot of the hard work, Pitt, pulling the ropes. All these guys, it was actually hand-picked by one. We met personally at several events, and then I just contacted them and say if they want to join in for the fun and make a team for this season. I also focused on trying to get a team that I thought would work well together, because it's a long process going from the first event to the last one. And obviously when you're not, when you don't have time to practice too much together, it's important that you learn through the events. Also to develop together, that means you're going to have some conflicts, you got to move through them, you have to get out on the other side with a better setup, and also you need to be able to, as a team, get stronger together, because we know we're going to have defeats, we're not going to lose races, but still we have to push each other forward and and have a positive approach for the next race coming. I think our performance this season has been slightly below our own expectation and goals. It's proven slightly harder to get onto the tour and racing well together. It's the small things that make a difference in match racing, and we had a few situations against us. That's how it is, but I'm not too worried yet. I mean, there's plenty of season left. Our expectations for Match Race Portugal is that we. That's hard. What is our expectations, boys? To do
Semi-finals.
Semi-final? Quarters or semis? To win.
Key aspect to my role this week is to be, big and strong, and be able to work in the boat, but also keep your head out of the boat and feed a bit of information to our tactician, Razzie, and back to Jesper, and also just be able to do all the manoeuvres.
Communication's massive. I mean, the teams that sort of are doing really well often, as you sail together, a bowman and the skipper get a good relationship working. The more you sail together, the more trust you get, and if I call Jesper to swing or go up, and the more we sail together, he'll get more trust in me, and I think we'll just improve as a team the longer we sail together.
The best part of being tactician is when you kind of figure everything out and you find the fastest way around the track. It's sometimes very difficult to predict what is going to happen. So some of it is also adapting to the conditions as they happen.
My name is Christian Scherer. I'm 41 years old. I'm from Switzerland, and I'm a trimmer on the team, Adrian Lee and Partners.
41. So I didn't know that.
It's all coming out.
It's all a team effort, and everybody needs to work together, and all the little things need to fit together, the speed, the crew work, the tactics, and it's just one of the little stones that have to fit to make it work and to make you win.
We haven't sailed enough to have a rival team yet.
Yeah, everybody has their own rival team.
I would say all of them are rival teams. We don't have a rival team. Huh?
From this year, I reckon it's Damien Iehl, because they yell the most. When
they yell at us.
They yell a lot.
Yeah, they are kind of noisy.
Adrian Lee and Partners.
I would say Adrian Lee and Partners is the favourite team.
Finland match racing team, the girls.
Adrian Lee and Partners Racing Team will probably win this event. Hopefully.
That's a good bet.
Yeah.
Put your money on that. Don't tell anybody though.
Yeah.
The Portimão Portugal Match Cup is held at the Marina de Portimão, a venue that offers a relaxed and recreational atmosphere onshore and some strong currents out on the water. Whilst soaking up the sun, Mathieu took us through the venue and quirks of the racecourse here in Portugal.
Well, here we are in Portugal, in Portimao, which is in the south of Portugal. This is a wonderful place for holiday, but it's also great for racing, and we have a very good racing area here and good boats for match racing. There is a nice beaches, there is the swimming pool at the hotel, and a lot of good entertainment here. It's very nice for holiday, but of course we are not here for holiday, and we have to stay focused and concentrated on the racing. This is a good venue for sailing, because actually we are going outside on the sea, of course, and here the sea breeze is building very nicely every day, and in the middle of the afternoon and the end of the day you have a very good sea breeze, so for sure it's great for sailing and for racing. There is for sure some little tricks that I shouldn't say, but there is one thing which is important here is the current. Actually there is a river going out from the marina, and there is also tide, so depending of the timing of the tide you can have big current, and I remember that last year it was an important aspect of for the tactics, so that's a thing you have to be aware of here. The goal is to go at least to the semis, and when you reach the semis then everything is open and everything is possible.
Join us for part 2 to find out about the SM40s and for some highlights from the qualifying stage of the competition. Welcome back for part 2 of the Portimão Portugal Match Cup. The boats being sailed for this event are the SM40s, designed to be fast and agile. And who better to talk us through them than Swedish skipper Johnny Berntsen.
Match 40 is designed by Pelle Pettersson, a Swedish sailing legend. He designed these boats to be very similar with the America's Cup boats that they had a couple of years ago before there was catamarans. It's not very wide. It means that you can often stay close to each other and sail very high angle to the wind. You steer it with a wheel, and you have a symmetric spinnaker. It's a 5-man crew boat, so you're one bowman, you have one tailor, pitman, one trimmer, one main trimmer and tactician, and one helmsman. They are really fun to race, and they're really challenging when you do the pre-start. If you come from the port side, you really easy get hooked up, and you need to get a good strategy of that. So that's one of the challenges you have with these boats.
The first day of racing filled in with a good sea breeze that allowed the teams to sail late into the evening. Johnny Berntsen and his team had a disappointing day, losing all of their 3 races. He talks us through a few of the key issues he faced out on the water.
We were into this day having 3 issues that we wanted to work with. It was the pre-start, we wanted to win the starts, we wanted to have good acceleration and good speed, and we also wanted the maneuvering to work well. And we had a race against Ian Williams. We wanted to win the right side of the starting line, to stay windward of him and try to keep him all the way out to the ley line.
The windward boat is always the one closest to the source of the wind, while the leeward boat is the one furthest from where the wind is blowing. This is the windward boat. The ley line is the direct sailing course to a mark or buoy. When a skipper gets his boat to the ley line, they can then sail directly to the mark without any further tacks or jibes. We rejoined Berntsen in his pre-start against Williams.
We won that start. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to stay there all the time, so we needed to take away. And Ian and his crew did a very good job to get back into the race and pass us on the first upwind. We hunted them really hard on the way around the course. When you're passing the leeward mark, it's the leeward boat needs to have an overlap on you all the time. If you breaks the overlap, then the leeward boat needs to jibe in and go to the mark.
An overlap is when a bow of one boat overlaps the stern of another. The leeward mark is the buoy the yachts go around to finish lap 1. In Portugal, it was a gate that the boats had to pass through, rounding one or other of the marks at either end. There's a ley line for each of the gate marks. Williams was leading Berntsen.
Jan did a good job having the overlap. He managed to keep us all the way outside the mark, and we needed to stay there and wait until he jibed in to round the mark and just follow him around that and try to do better rounding.
Despite some attacking manoeuvres, Berntsen lost to Williams and was left to reflect on the areas he needed to improve on. Adrian Lee and partners had a good day's racing, winning 2 out of their 3 races.
Well, I think the first day here for Adrian Lee and Partners Racing Team was really good for us. I think our communication in the team has been improving. It's our 3rd event now. As I think Nick said yesterday, my barman, he said it takes a while to get to know each other, and especially a connection like the barman to the skipper there's a communication line that you need to clear up a little bit and know exactly what picture he's trying to paint for me, and it's getting better. We're not perfect yet, but pretty happy.
As the first qualifying session came to a close, the teams were invited to an opening dinner where they could relax in the VIP lounge for the evening. "11 flights were sailed during the second qualifying session. The afternoon's racing proved very important for Mathieu Richard.
It was a really strange day because we started with 3 defeats in a row and plus a penalty of half a point because of a collision against Bruni. So after 3 matches today we had minus 0.5 points, so it was like a nightmare. We said, well, what happens?
By flight 17, Richard was on 4 wins and 4 losses, so the pressure was on to win at least 2 more races to stay in the game. Next, he faced Iehl Williams.
It was an important race against Mathieu. He's obviously a tough guy to race against. The course was very right-hand side favoured, so we were both fighting hard for that, and we pushed him back to the line, hooked him below ley line for the committee boat, so he was forced to tack onto port below the ley line, not laying the committee boat.
I think both boats were fighting for the right, which was really better. And so during the pre-start we were leading, and we had some time to kill.
But unfortunately for us, we hadn't kept quite enough speed, so we weren't able to go with him and pin him that side. So plan B was to build on starboard, tack quickly, and then try and duck him at start time or soon after. And try and get to the right, but he did a really nice job of building on port, doing a nice tack, building on starboard.
Georges, n'ouvre pas trop les gars. On essaie de prendre de la vitesse et dès qu'on peut on vire.
Do you want to tack back and dip or not? Tacking now. Looking for the dip out of this, guys. Big dip, okay? Big cut. Big dip.
On abat fort alors. Tiens, on va aller au slam dunk les gars. Préparé, ça l'offre un peu Greg.
Okay, coming up.
When we dipped him, he tacked onto port to windward of us and did a really nice slam dunk. And we were hoping to be able to then luff him and force him the other way, but it just wasn't to be. We ended up getting spell out to the left, and really that was the critical point in the race.
We're very happy to win these matches, and well, we need, I think, probably 1 more point tomorrow to get to go through the quarterfinals.
At the end of the day, many of the tour card holders were circling the drop zone. But Iehl Williams and Torvar Mirsky were looking very strong going into the final day of qualifying. But the 3rd day dawned with no wind, and the teams were anxious to get out on the water. Whilst waiting for the wind to pick up, one skipper took the chance to hit some high speeds on a different racecourse.
We are here this morning in the Autódromo Internacional do Algarve, a famous track here in Portugal. Very nice, fantastic experience for me, very different. We are here with Miguel. We have been going around the track a few times. It's been an amazing experience for me, actually my first experience on a fast car with 450 horsepower. It's been great, and I'm actually a little bit seasick now. It's my first time I feel this way. A lot of adrenaline, and it's been fantastic.
Day 3 saw just one flight due to the light conditions, leaving it to Day 4 to decide who would be in the quarter-finals. Join us after the break. Welcome back to the Portimão Portugal Match Cup. The qualifying stage was still in play at the start of Day 4, and it was the last 3 flights that would decide the fate of most of the tour card holders.
Well, I think it's an interesting day today because there's several teams sort of at the bottom of the cut-off group for the 7th, 8th place into the round robin.
And we really probably at least have to win one of them. 2 would be safe, 3 would be awesome.
It's going to be a hard day for everybody.
We got 3 races to go to finish the first round robin, and we are looking forward to win.
Going or not to the quarterfinals, it's a big deal. It's a crucial day really for the World Tour.
Yeah, really looking forward to racing today. We're at 7-1 in the round robin and 3 races to go.
We are currently on 5-3, means 5 victories, 3 losses.
I think we've got to win 1 out of 3, but we're going to go out there and try get all 3.
You're really under pressure. It's payday. You really have to fight for it.
Had a full day on the dock, waiting around doing nothing yesterday, so looking forward to going out today and smashing it.
Damien Iehl was in desperate need of 1 win to see him through to the quarters. In his first race, he faced Francesco Bruni.
I'm very angry against the match against Bruni because he had a penalty, but we lose the left side and we lose the start.
Yes! Bruni managed to win the left and stretch away by 3 boat lengths. He completed his penalty and took the win. Iehl went on to lose his next 2 races, a disappointing end to the regatta for the French match racing team. In Flight 21, Torvar Mirsky faced Peter Gilmour. A win in this race would see Mirsky through to the quarters at the top of the qualifying leaderboard.
Very tough race against Peter Gilmour, the local derby from Perth, Australia. We were entering from the port end, which was a tough one in the lighter winds, and we were fighting for the left side of the course, the pin end, everything to go the left. And you know, in the pre-start it's difficult when you're coming in from port, and we just did a great job to get out of the stranglehold that Peter had, and just at the last sort of 20 seconds we were able to get loose and start very close to the line at the pin end. Probably a little bit down speed against Peter, but we were able to go for the side of the course that was favoured, and that was basically the race there.
Okay, go.
We sort of just did quite a big square, simple racetrack around the course, and there was a left current that was favoured, and we managed to extend, and it was a good feeling for us, good revenge on last year.
Mirsky went on to win his next race against Damien Iehl, putting him at the top of the qualifying leaderboard.
10-1 for the Wave Muscat is a great score, and one of our best ones, and just happy that we won the round robin.
Nice one, guys. We won the round robin.
We just got to make sure we don't get ahead of ourselves, and we realised that it could go bad for us, and we just have to focus on what's important, and hopefully it'll stay the same for the rest of the regatta.
Having just lost to Torvar Mirsky and Jesper Radic in the previous race, Peter Gilmour had to win his last match against Bruni to go through to the quarters. Bruni hit Gilmour in the pre-start, copping a penalty, leaving Gilmour to win the start.
That's gotta be a double!
Gilmour continued to lead to the finish. So the end of the qualifying stage saw all but one tour card holder through to the quarter-finals. Also joining them was Bjorn Hansen. At the top of the leaderboard, Torvar Mirsky chose his opponent first, and he went for Johnny Berntsen.
We picked Johnny Berntsen in our boat draw for the quarterfinals. We know that he didn't race this morning, and we did, so we felt that it was an advantage to take someone who was perhaps a little bit new to the new wind direction that we have on this later stages of the regatta, and hopefully that'll put him on the back foot and we'll be able to take what we need.
Mirsky talks us through the first flight of their quarter-final.
Race 1 against Johnny Berntsen, we really wanted the pin end and the left side of the course, that was favoured. And just guys did a great job, had good momentum in our boat and managed to win the start, win the left, and after that it was pretty straightforward for us, but you know, Johnny always makes it close, and we were just happy to keep it clean and in front for that one.
Mirsky goes on to win for a second time, making him one win away from the semi-finals. Berntsen talks us through the third race.
Yeah, it was a do or die race for us. It was really important for us to win that, to still be in the game for the semis. And in the pre-start it was a really tight duel to win the pin end, and Torvar won it, but he had to offer a lot of speed to win it, so we can just roll him over and cover him. After that we had a huge tacking duel. I think we did like 10-15 tacks at the first upwind just to try to cover him and extend our lead. So we did, and managed to keep him behind us, but on the last downwind he was gaining a lot on us. The wind went lighter, and we also came into another race with a lot of spinnakers in, and we got the middle of it, so we didn't have as much wind as him. So in the goal, I think it was just half a boat length between us, and really close race.
It was close, but Berntsen defeated the team that seemed undefeatable.
I think we did a good job to dig back into him and make it close, but nicely sailed by Johnny, and we got to win another one.
Then Berntsen won again, taking it to sudden death. The Wave Muscat, who'd only lost one race all week, had suddenly lost 2 in a row, and the momentum was now with Berntsen. It was down to a decider.
We were early back to the start line. We thought we were in control of the left side, which we wanted again. But we ended up, Johnny did a great job, and we ended up being early for the start and having to turn back around. Basically, he started 4 lengths in front of us while we were turning around, and we just couldn't catch him after that. He just sailed around quite smoothly, and fair play to him. He's just taken the opportunities when he's got them and won the series. You know, we're obviously down that we were in such good form and then we lost our quarters, but that's what happens sometimes, and we're just we've got to make sure that we're on fire for the next one.
So Mirsky and his team were out despite an impressive performance in the qualifying, proving that anything can happen in match racing. Ian Williams was next up, and he chose to race Bjorn Hansen. By flight 4, it was 2-1 and match point for Williams.
The start was certainly decisive. Today the start line was quite pin biased, so biased to the pin end, left-hand end of the line, and it was a case in this start of Bjorn being early for the pin. He was to the left of us in quite a good position, but too early. And he arrived there early. We decided to take the right-hand side of him and leave him slow at start time.
Hey, he's tucking boat! First! Don't over-rotate! Over-rotation! Let's go, guys.
So he had to slow right down in order not to be early for the line. We were able to tack away onto port, build speed, and then tack back.
Williams led Hansen all the way round the course to the finish. So Ian Williams goes through to the semis after a satisfying victory over a familiar rival.
We raced Bjorn in the semi-finals in Korea Match Cup, and he obviously beat us there. So it was, great to get our own back and take him out this time.
The third quarter-final saw Francesco Bruni racing Jesper Radek. Bruni had won 2 out of 3 races and talks us through his potentially decisive 4th match.
Yeah, last race against Jesper was a very nice one. We had a penalty on the pre-start.
He's in trouble, he's in trouble. Love all the way up!
We actually were very surprised for the penalty. We thought it was on him. We were to windward, we were keeping clear. The flag was our flag, so we were a little bit upset for that.
No way! No!
It was good to regroup again immediately after the penalty and have a good start on the right of him.
Bruni's good start served him well, and he led all the way to the finish line, sending Radek home.
If we want to be successful, we need to get better out of the starting box, and that's a lot about me, but also the whole crew handling the small meters here and there that we can gain, trimming well, setting up the boat well, and me doing a good timing.
We are very, very pleased because the beginning of the week was a nightmare for us. We didn't sail well, we were doing stupid mistakes in stupid situations, like very, very bad. And I'm glad that we did such a good recover, yes.
The last quarter-final pairing saw last year's winner, Peter Gilmour, racing Mathieu Richard. It was first to 2 points, and Richard claimed the first win, taking it to a potentially decisive 2nd race.
Well, the start was good. At the beginning we wanted the pin end, but during the start my tactician Greg saw that there was a big right shift, and so we changed the goal during the start, which is never easy, but we did it and chose to go to start at the committee boat, and that was a very good call.
In the second race, there was just a big shear just shortly after the start, and we went down into no wind, and he got a puff of breeze, and I think they're the circumstances that you live with sometimes in racing. It just goes your way, sometimes it doesn't.
Good start, a good first cross, but then it was very, very difficult to protect the right side during the first beat. Peter and his team came back on us, and we had a very, very tricky situation at the top mark. We were onto starboard, he came onto port on the port ley line, but we had to tack to run the mark, and Peter did a great job on trying to put the nose of the boat, his bow between the mark and my boat.
You are attacking! You are attacking! We tacked with an overlap! We were in control! We were ahead!
So we got a penalty on that situation, but we did well on the first run because we increased the lead up to 4 or 5 boat lengths, and we had enough room to do the penalty on the finishing line. So we are very happy with that. That's a great win to beat Peter Gilmour and Iehl racing team today, and yeah, I'm very pleased with that.
Thank you. Yes.
Well done.
So the reigning Portimão Portugal Match Cup champion goes home before the semi-finals.
That's good. Well, they're good champions, these guys.
Not yet.
We did it last time, and they did this time, so good on them. Well done, Matthew. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Advancing through to the semi-finals were Johnny Berntsen, Ian Williams, Francesco Bruni and Mathieu Richard. The semi-finals and finals were to take place the next day, where the winner of the Portimão Portugal Match Cup would be decided. Join us after the break. We're into the last day of the Portimão Portugal Match Cup. The day kicked off with the semi-finals, where 4 of the tour card holders would be battling it out for a place in the finals. Ian Williams chose to race Johnny Berntsen for his semi-final. It was 2-1 to Williams after flight 3, leaving a fourth must-win race for Berntsen.
In race 4 against Iehl Williams in the semi-finals, we had a windward position and struggled for the pin. Iehl was to leeward of us, and we had better speed and could tack away, and then meet him on a favoured starboard tack. At the next tack, we're ahead of him and could reach the top mark at the ley line. We had a good hoist, and Iehl needed to do a double tack at the top mark and lost many boat lengths and had some problems with the spinnaker, so pretty much the race was over after that.
So once again, Berntsen managed to claw back another win, a repeat of his quarter-final against Torvar Mirsky. Williams needed to put in one last effort if he wanted to go through.
We probably would have rather had his start actually to the left. It was a heavily favoured left course, but the guys, Mal and Jerry, did a great job trimming, and we just managed to hang in there. We had to go you know, as soon as we could, but we managed to get all the way to ley line and tack and lead around the top mark. So good to be ahead, but I don't think it was all over yet. And Johnny did a great job. Really nice hoist by him. Came around the top mark, I think, with a little bit more speed, and was able to jibe across our air and then jibe back into an overlap.
Ja. Tar vi jipp igen. Och bräda på jippen. Vi har överlapp.
And he was able to luff us right out to one side of the run, which meant when we then both jibed onto starboard, it was all on. It was a case of whether we could hold him high above the ley line for the bottom mark, or whether he could roll over the top.
Nice job. Got to come out. We're going to have to get hot at some point, okay? Go hot, go hot, go hot. Coming back down. Ease if you can a little, it's a lot faster. Is he broken?
He had one big surge forward on a wave, and it was marginal whether he'd broken the overlap, and I think that was probably the critical moment. He didn't quite break the overlap. We were then able to surge back forward into leeward, and he hadn't done enough to keep clear of us, so he picked up the penalty. We were also able to put him into a broach and sail away ourselves. So really good job by the guys on the bow. It's the breeze picked up pretty suddenly, and you know, it was all on. As you can see, these boats are a real handful. They're very loaded when the pressure's up, and it was a real boat handling race really. And my guys did a great job to pull through.
Williams put up a good fight and got himself through to the finals, while Johnny bowed out with a positive attitude.
We're not really happy right now, but after a couple of beers tonight, we will probably look at it as a good event for us.
Also competing for a place in the finals were Francesco Bruni and Mathieu Richard. Bruni won the first race and was keen for a second win to take him to match point.
Second race against Mathieu was an interesting one because we started on the left like he did to us on the first race. But I think we started with a little bit of more speed compared to the race before, and we were able to sneak through and to cross him on the left corner just by half boat length, and the race was pretty easy after that.
Richard was now in a must-win situation going into flight 3.
On the third race we start not very good because the goal was to go to the left side, and Bruni did a good job to win the left on the start, and so they managed to cross ahead at the first cross, which is a good advantage in those conditions because the left hand side was so powerful, and then they managed to stay ahead during all the race. But yeah, we were not so far, and fortunately for us on the last run they got a penalty for breaking rule 42. Yes, they pumped the main and the spinnaker too much to try to increase the speed. So they got this penalty, and they had not enough lead to do the penalty on the finishing line. So we got the point on this third race.
So Richard managed to keep himself in the running, but not for long. He lost the next race, sending Bruni through to the finals 3-1. So in the final of the Portimão Portugal Match Cup, Iehl Williams came up against Francesco Bruni.
Brother!
The first race of the final saw a succession of incidents at the windward mark that led to a surprising outcome. With both boats run aground, the match was abandoned and the first race was to be resailed. We join Andy Green for the rematch.
Superb conditions here in Portugal, and the cream always rises to the top. Francesco Bruni being pushed hard by Ian Williams in the pre-start. To my mind, looks like the pin end, the port side, is favoured. Bruni in the blue boat looks like he's trying to defend that left-hand side. He's going to get Williams trapped on the right-hand side, the windward side. The time is running down, but they are very close to the line. Only about a boat length and a half to go. Two of them desperately trying to slow down. Now it's a split tack start. The key here is, can Williams start clean on port? He has to bear away. Williams in the red boat right away. There goes the gun, and Williams having to tack on the committee boat, but there's a commotion on board Bruni's boat. What's happened? Oh, the worst. Bruni's over the line. An unforced error, surely. He was under no pressure from Williams. Impressive though, Bruni keeping cool and calm even when he is clearly down. Right off the starting line, Williams tacks bang on Bruni's face. Well, Bruni's going to have to do something special here as they come down to the final downwind. Williams with the red spinnaker hoists, no problem. Bruni decides to jibe immediately. He's got to throw everything at Williams, but it's not enough.
So all eyes were on the second race of this first to 2 points final.
Williams in the pre-start, there seems to be a little turnaround from the first race when Bruni was looking to win the pin. Now it's Williams on the leeward side aiming for the best start, but this time the start line not so favoured towards the left-hand side. Bruni not in a bad position. There's plenty on for this race because Bruni must win, and Williams is determined. He hasn't won a World Match Racing Tour event since Danish Open in 2008. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. There's the pin and the start. Bruni looks just fine there, although Williams has got a little puff of breeze, just extending out towards that left-hand side, going very nicely indeed. Bruni's just slowed down a bit. He's just come upright, and he's forced to tack away to the right-hand side. That is good early stages for Williams as he gets a big puff just as Bruni tacks away, and that has put him in a very good position at the windward mark. He's not quite ahead, but Williams is just pushing Bruni up, trying to slow him down, luffing him so that Williams can get a clear run in to the top mark. Bruni just trying to get the boat to go as fast as possible. Williams getting another nice puff of breeze, seems to be timing his run around this racecourse extremely well. Now he's got to tack and be able to clear Bruni. On board with Bruni right now. Williams tacks no problem at all. In fact, it looks like Williams, as he hits another puff of breeze in Portimão Harbour in Portugal, it's stadium racing today. Kite goes up on Williams's boat. Excellent set, no problem there at all. Well-oiled machine from Great Britain. Behind is the Italian team of Francesco Bruni. There's not quite such a good set, but as they're coming down towards the bottom gate, Williams just trying to get his spinnaker under control. Big puff of breeze. Well, Bruni hasn't got his spinnaker pole under control. That is flailing around like a jousting stick. But they seem to have it under control now. The spinnaker coming in just about under control. The main sheet man pulling on the main. Matt Cassidy on the bow of Williams' boat, tidying away the spinnaker. That pole on Bruni's boat still not away, flailing around. That'll be slowing them down. And it slows them down enough, they just can't eat into Williams' lead. And Ian Williams takes the second race and the win here in Portugal. Great racing, superb win.
Good racing, guys.
Bruni knows beaten by a better team?
Well, you know, you can't always win, and it's our third final this year. We are happy. Iehl did a fantastic job, and we did our best. A couple of mistakes here and there, and you know, it's part of the game. You have to accept it.
Yeah, fantastic for Team GAC Pindar to win. It's been hard work actually. We had some really close matches. You know, we dug deep, and I felt that sort of helped us build as a team, and I felt really strong going into the final, and the guys did a great job. So, you know, here we are.
Second is still a very good result. We are happy with our performance here. We would always be happy to finish second and to be leader up to the end of the circuit, you know.
That's always the problem with match racing, is that form doesn't seem to count for anything. You look at Torvar Mirsky, 10-1 in the round robin and knocked out in the quarters. So hard to really get momentum, but certainly it bodes well for this team. That this is the first time we sailed as this group, and we're going to sail with the same team in Sweden. So I'm looking forward to that. Woo!
After an eventful regatta and some scoreboard shake-ups, the results of the Portimão Portugal Match Cup looked like this. In their petty final, Mathieu Richard scooped third place and Johnny Berntsen came away in fourth. Bruni is still sitting at the top of the table with 81 points, and Ian Williams had made a significant gain after his win, launching him from 10th to 3rd overall. Join us again for the next stop on the tour, the Stena Match Cup Sweden in Marstrand.